I'm here at Bowditch Field. It's about 7:30 in the morning. The sun has just risen, as you can see behind me, and it's about 30 degrees out. But the only other person here with me right now is Garrett Fitzpatrick. He's training to run in this year's Boston Marathon on behalf of Team Framingham. One of the most famous marathons in the world will pass through Framingham on Monday, April 21st. 30,000 people will participate in this year's Boston Marathon, and each one has a unique reason for running those 26.2 miles from Hopkinton to Boylston Street. We spoke to 3 local runners to understand their motivations and found a common thread between them all.
I think everyone has a story when they are running a marathon. That's probably one of the most beautiful things about being part of this community.
For Garrett, that story started back when he was 16. He attended a leadership ranch that 2 parents had established in memory of their teenage son, who they lost to suicide. Their goal was to develop young adults into leaders in hopes they would return to their communities and help those who may be struggling. He's running this year's marathon to honor that experience.
It kind of awakened in me an idea that I could be a leader. I think the Leadership Metro West does that here in Framingham and helps people realize that there's more that they can do, there's more of an impact they can make. Any kind of change starts with the community level, so I'm really excited to help them out.
Lisa Burgess is on the steering committee for Team Framingham and is about to run her 13th marathon. Her first one was Chicago back in 2017.
It was a very tragic time in my life when I ran my first marathon.
A year prior, her ex-husband and father of her children, Eric, took his own life. Now she's running for Jeff's Place, the Framingham-based grief support organization that helped her family process and heal from Eric's death. In fact, another Team Framingham runner, Jackie Burgoyne, says witnessing the mental health crisis in her career as a nurse practitioner motivated her to run this year.
Increasingly seeing the amount of mental health crises on the rise, and unfortunately death by suicide also on the rise. It's, what can I do to help my community out?
She says mental health services are especially crucial right now, which is why she's running to support Call to Talk, United Way's mental health, emotional support, and suicide prevention program.
Being selected as part of Team Framingham and knowing Call to Talk was there sort of felt like a no-brainer.
And while her fundraising will support the mental well-being of others, she says the training process helps her own as well.
Experiencing part of the benefits of mental health through running while fundraising at the same time for mental health, it just, it was a nice symbiotic relationship there.
It gives you a lot of time to think and process, and it helped me. Like when I was out for a run after he died and I was training for Chicago, I would just run and cry and think about, all the losses, And so it's very therapeutic that way.
This year's marathon is particularly special for Lisa. Her son Ben will be running alongside her for the first time.
Just to clarify, we won't be running together. He'll be running very far ahead of me.
Ben was able to qualify for this year's Boston Marathon while enduring his own mental health struggles. Lisa is proud to be running a marathon with him, but even prouder of what he's overcome to get here. And she's happy they'll be on their home course.
There's nothing like it. There's no other marathon like Boston Marathon.
You might not realize just how incredible it is to see someone you're familiar with, someone you know. Especially through Framingham, people are cheering you on, and they're helping you get through it.
And although the cheers and the cowbells are appreciated on race day, each runner credits their families and Team Framingham for the consistent support throughout the months of training it took to get here.
You get there to the finish line, not just with the training, but with all the people that have, helped you along the way.
It takes a village of family members, teammates, and neighbors to help these runners push through the grueling physical and mental demands of a marathon. But in fact, it's the challenge of training for and completing the race that keeps them coming back.
Running 26.2 miles, why would anybody do that?
I'm building inner and outer strength. I think that's what the marathon helps teach you.
Being able to show my kids that I can accomplish hard things and that I can stick to, I can set a goal for myself and follow it through and then help the greater good at the same time.
I believe in taking on impossible challenges, and I feel like that's one of the main things that keeps me going, keeps me pushing for new limits, new goals, and I think that's how we grow.